Hi everyone, I'm Sky, and if you're a furry content creator like me, you've probably run into that dreaded phenomenon known as burnout. A subscriber of mine wanted to hear my thoughts on furries getting burnt out and trying to schedule their content, and seeing as I have also struggled with that, I think I can offer some friendly suggestions for it. So thank you Shelby Ravenpaw for the suggestion. So as content creators, or very picky OCD ridden creators such as myself will know, we can eventually hit a wall and run out of ideas. For some, the ideas may start to seem like they're not good enough, or that they're not worthy enough of being made into a video. You're definitely not alone when this happens. Burnout affects most creators at some point in their creative journeys, and I'm just going to come out and say, I think furries are more likely to run into burnout issues when creating content. This being because we're quite a niche part of the internet. Our content is more likely catered to the fandom we're a part of, coupled by the fact that more and more furs are making YouTube channels, which is awesome by the way, but can affect some slightly more insecure furries who see these as content competition. This is because as they start to see similar videos getting made, they start to see a whole range of videos and feel like they don't want to quote unquote copy them. Unless your owner is a copycat, in which case they won't worry about that anyway. As far as I'm concerned, as long as people enjoy your content, even if it's identical to that of another furry's video, you're not going out of your way to hurt anyone. You're bound to run into a similar video idea along your creative journey on this platform. So that's the first thing that needs to be eradicated. The fear of copying someone else and stealing content. Instead, use each other to inspire one another to come up with similar, or if you're having a really creative day, totally different ideas. The second thing that needs to go is a negative mindset. If you're pessimistic about your content and don't think it's even worth uploading, then you'll never upload anything anyway. You need to accept that not everyone will like what they see, especially if they're a childish, furry hater, but the chance of it making a difference to at least one person's day is so worth it. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't going to make this video. It admits I ran out of ideas and ran into some burnout as well, but then I realised that this proves how normal it is. Why shouldn't I talk about it? I've always been fairly frequent with uploads, but a lot of stuff went on IRL, some good, some bad, and that affected my upload schedule. We should talk about how understandably normal that is. This brings me on to something that we have to remember greatly. We're all human beings behind the fur and are made up of many emotions. Life gets busy. We have stuff outside of YouTube that we do or that eats up time. Trying to manage everything in life is what often causes the burnout. If you're not earning big and not a full-time YouTuber and you have jobs outside of content creation, then you need to focus more on understanding what portions of free time throughout the week you have. To put things into perspective, I have 2 part-time jobs. I also volunteer at an animal charity. I want to meet up with friends and family, spend time with my wife, and maybe do up at home. This all takes time. So when I originally wanted to upload once a week, it does catch up with you in the end and becomes a task not easily managed. So the big question we're all asking is, how do we balance everything in order to be most productive? My first bit of advice is to start with a Monday to Sunday timetable. Within that timetable, add all the things you know are obviously important, i.e. eating, washing, work, social life, and then start to look at how much free time in one day you have. If you're busy between 9 AM and 10 PM with tasks, then you have between 7 and 10 in the evening to do whatever else you wish to do. That's 3 hours of spare time. If that's every day of the week, that ends up being 21 hours that you can focus on something else. My second bit of advice is select and choose what you really enjoy doing. If you're trying to juggle too many balls, you're likely to drop one. So you have to be realistic with how many things you can actually physically do. Not to mention, if you're focusing your energy on one thing to be good at, then that one thing is going to flourish so much quicker because it gets all of the effort. A good way to visualize this is imagine you're juggling glass and plastic balls. The glass ones are important. If they drop, they will break. For example, picking the kids up from school would be a glass ball. A glass ball is something that you need to do and be responsible for. A plastic ball might be shopping online for things you may not need. So drop plastic balls that are holding you back to be more efficient with your time and effort throughout the week. Another thing that helps with this is to create a to-do list. I write a to-do list pretty much every day, and I would say 9 times out of 10 I complete it. This is because it makes the job seem a little bit more fun to tick off, and also you're not overwhelmed by thinking of them all at the same time. I honestly believe the main reason we fail to complete tasks throughout the day is because we're not organising our time properly, or we're too busy thinking about the things we know we need to do. Like having an office job and your boss comes over to your desk and slams a big stack of documents that need completing by the end of the shift. Imagine what your mind must be dealing with when you're going home and doing the same thing to yourself mentally. So overall, I think the best advice I can give, and this is just the advice I would give myself, I'm not suggesting anyone takes this advice, is look at your life. What are you doing? Are you doing too much? Are you juggling too many things, and can any of them be dropped? Can you focus optimal time on say 1 or 2 things and work on those things more efficiently, instead of giving 10% energy to 10 different tasks? How much free time during the day do you have to do these 1 or 2 things? And can you afford 5 minutes in the morning to write a to-do list and plan the day ahead? These things help me feel more connected with myself and slightly more in control. We can all waver and fall from time to time, but try and pinpoint why that's happening more than perhaps it should, and you may find a lifestyle and schedule that works for you. Hopefully this video helps some of you out there. I feel like a lot of us don't talk about it enough because we're afraid of judgment or feeling like we're not smart enough to come up with ideas. However, burnout isn't an indicator of intellectual capabilities. Instead, it means things are not organised and is often a good sign that things need to change for the better for you to get more out of life. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and maybe send it to someone else you think it'll benefit as well. You're all very skilled and talented and just need to believe that fact more. Stay awesome, and I'll see you all in my next video. See ya!